Well, hello there.
Hi.
Well, here we are.
Okay.
Did you click on the YouTube link?
No, I was trying to get this pulled up. Let me see.
Here we are.
Okay.
Sounds like you have it. Did you click on the YouTube link?
Okay. No, I'm trying to get this pulled up. I clicked on the first one, but not the YouTube one. Should I have clicked on the YouTube instead? Okay.
It's interesting because I can hear you.
I clicked on the first one, but not the YouTube one.
It sounds like, oh, I see.
Because we're backstage.
No, I have the YouTube video on this computer. I've got it on my phone. So I have on my phone the YouTube link with no volume. I had to close out. I had the YouTube link open on this computer, and then I've got it open on the computer that's actually showing that.
Okay.
And that this right here, that's a separate computer.
Okay. Okay.
So what I don't like, and it seems like I don't have any choice, is what I don't like is that what I don't like is the so speak for a second.
Hello.
Okay, so it's not changing. Yeah, it's not changing who is where. So
Oh, like a speaker view. Oh, well, there I am. Or, but then you went away.
So I'm doing all this by toggling a button.
Okay. I just didn't know if you were supposed to go away or.
Yeah. So I'm like everything you're seeing that I'm doing, I'm clicking buttons to do.
Okay.
Even that background, I can change the background.
Oh, that's neat.
Yep.
See, can't do that in Hopin.
Right. We can have our own background, like that's a video background here, right? And so the branding can be changed. That CEBOT, we can change that branding. The thing, so, you know, in looking at what I like and I don't like, first off, and I don't know whether that's me that's doing this, I would like to be able to have a full screen. So it's showing the background, and like, what if I want to, and even if I hide the background, I'm just feeling like this view that I have is small, if that makes any sense.
Right.
Like I'm looking at it on the phone, and it's not like I can't see it. It's fine. You know, it has the background be the predominant piece, which I guess is okay.
Right.
It allows 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 speakers.
Okay.
And the only thing and I'll see if I can. The only thing is that this view right here, like if I don't know how to change you into the person that's in the big box right now.
Okay.
So let me see if I maximize you.
So, yeah, I was getting ready to say.
I just did it.
Yeah. So I was like, I think it was whatever you did before.
Right, but there you go. So you'll probably see it on your phone. Do you have this open on your phone?
No, I have it on my laptop. But should I try to maybe do the YouTube?
Do the YouTube on your phone so you can see what it looks like.
Okay.
And then what I'm going to also see if I can do is I'm going to see if I could share this current screen.
Oh.
What I'm going to also see if I can do.
Let me turn it down.
See if I can share
Oh, that's so neat.
Okay.
So I see the delay. Mm.
Dina, can you hear me? Dina, can you hear me? Dina, can you hear me? I can't hear you. Are you on mute or something? Oh, she left.
Um. Hmm.
Dina, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Could you hear me before?
I could hear you on YouTube, but you couldn't hear me.
Okay, the YouTube thing, you have to turn the volume off. It'll be really confusing. So this is just kind of it does show up the audio. But if you can hear me on this now, then you can hear yourself on that. Does that make sense? So
Right.
I just wanted you to visually see what, not only the leg, but not have the sound, because that's a little too confusing. So turn the sound off on your phone.
I did.
Okay, good. All right. So I wanted to show you. Okay, the first thing I want to do is I want to find out if you can. Oh, I know what I got to do. All right. So here's what I want you to do. So can you turn off your camera but not your volume?
Up here?
Turn off your camera but not your volume.
Okay.
Right. So now we can talk to each other, but we're not going to show up on the screen. You're going to see that we're not going to show up on the screen. Now you can still hear me, right?
Yes.
Yes. Now, you see the screen went blank?
Yes.
Right. So part of this is really having an understanding the distinction between visual and audio, right? So you and I can talk. We're both open live mics on the system.
Right.
But visually, nothing's there. So what I want to do is to show you the back end. Okay?
Okay.
So this is the back end.
Oh.
So you can see that you're here, right?
It's really small. Hold on.
Yeah, it is small.
Okay. That's better. Okay.
But let me see if I can see what you're seeing over here. Let me pull this. Let me find this screen over here. Give me a second. I'll be with you in a minute. I just got to find my cursor.
Okay.
So what I've been looking for is a system that will allow for us to have the maximum control of. All right. So it's showing that you're backstage, right? Or no, it doesn't show you're backstage. Okay,
Nope.
so you're front stage. So you're front stage, but can't be seen.
Right.
And yet, right now, what you're seeing is my computer. It's really kind of an inlaid kind of thing. If you really look at that picture, it's a picture inside of a picture inside of a picture inside of a picture. That's pretty funny. Yep. So this toggle on the over here actually controls it what you see in the middle is what's there, but there's a button on the bottom here that will change how things are presented on the screen. So if I open up, so right here, here's 2 web pages open on the screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I open up my set, open me up, right? That's the third person. And so we could fit lots of different ways. And I can make myself into the center, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that maximizes me. I can unmaximize, right? I can maximize that, unmaximize. What is interesting is, like right now, how do you make, it's interesting. I'm trying to figure out how do you make, like if I'm the first one, that's the second one.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So it depends on who you turn on as far as I get. No, that turned on before that.
So you want it to be in a certain order, like the speakers to be in a certain order?
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess the big thing is that, like, if I'm talking, I can control that I'm talking, so that's important.
Right.
The other is that I'm gonna actually use this machine here as the presentation machine.
Right. So you would need to keep this visible with the speaker.
I can promote them as the only person that's speaking.
Okay.
And of course, I can also mute you.
Right.
So start talking.
Oh, okay. It says you cannot be heard. Oh, yeah.
So the thing I like about it is it has kind of a command and control center that allows for us to at least control the narrative, and it allows us to distribute this into a social networking framework like YouTube, right?
Right.
So, and it keeps the CEBOT brand.
Right. Oh, I like this.
Yep. So I wanted to give you a demonstration. I've got to get a document together for Dr. Williams in less than an hour and a half.
Okay.
On what all of the HBCUs are going to agree on in order for us to be able to come together to do $25 million worth of business in the next probably 3 months. So I'm wanting to see if it's possible for you to read the documents in a way where you actually know what's going on.
Right.
Because I'm wanting to see if it's possible for a human to understand what's happening in a way that it's happening and not in a way of hopeful it's happening.
Okay.
So because this research is on cognition. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Human cognition.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a recompense strategy is how we're kind of labeling it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know much about recompense?
Make amends to someone. No. But I see the synonyms, so yeah, like reparations and whatnot.
Yeah. So just trying to find something, and you can turn your camera on now.
Oh.
So the negative I see is like there's no backgrounds available, but what I can see. Like I can create the background here, but I can't create like a background. I can create or at least it has overlays available, but I'm not really sure how all that works. It does allow for you to upload video clips.
Mm-hmm.
Which kind of like controls everything, right? So you could upload a video to kind of say, hey, it's about to start. You can do it like right before. Well, that wouldn't do it. Wait, let me. So the thing that I do find that you're not able, so like if you don't turn your camera off when I need you to turn your camera off, the only power that I have is to mute you. You know what I mean? Or take you off the screen. But if I take you off the screen, then we're going to have to message each other to get back on as long as you stay. So that's a bit of a limitation, but it's not much of a limitation. The presentation is small. I lost you. So did you
So confusing.
what happened?
I could see you and me on YouTube, but I wasn't saying anything because on the laptop there was still that countdown screen, but it stopped. And I couldn't do anything. It just said I'm muted while the overlay is playing.
Right.
So
And then it seemed like, did you log in or log off or something?
But I keep getting these things. It says, oops, seems like one of your streams is having connection issues.
Interesting.
And it keeps doing that, but only on the laptop, on the ReStream.
Okay, well, let's keep reading those documents. I'm going to, but I wanted to just do this real quick so you saw the direction we're going. But
Okay.
again, the research is on cognation. I'm determined to see whether or not you actually understand what's going on to a point of actually understanding that it's going on, because I'm still feeling that you're in the arbitrary, which is very unsafe for me.
Okay.
I need you to actually recognize what's happening and nothing else, because I'm very purpose driven, and the force of my languaging, the force of God is behind what we're doing. We have got to be able to, as African Americans, come together and bring our HBCU ecosystem together to build entities to create wealth in order to receive the investment dollars. I'm asking you to be close enough to me to actually understand that I'm doing it, but I cannot tolerate any ambiguity in my world, because I'm saying what I'm doing. You could disagree with what I'm doing, and man, I'm all over that. You could say, wait a minute, I don't feel comfortable with what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's safe to me, because if you don't feel comfortable, I'm not going to feel comfortable, right?
Okay. Okay.
But to not know that we're doing what we're doing right now is to be in status quo.
Okay.
And you said to me you wanted to be part of change.
Right.
Your yes has to mean yes, your no has to mean no.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So let me ask my famous question. Do you feel safe?
Do I feel safe in looking at the information and
What I'm asking you to do in your participation.
No.
I'm feeling the ambiguity is causing confusion.
Mm-hmm.
There's no ambiguity. We have a contract with the Commonwealth of Virginia. It's a sole source contract.
Okay.
You're a fellow of the organization that has the contract, and you ask to participate voluntarily.
Right.
The place that I'm finding we're going to disconnect is inside of the velocity of what's happening.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
I think I need a more straightforward assignment. That's why I don't feel safe, because I feel
Perfect,
focuses.
perfect.
Yeah.
So that is the work. The assignment is an assignment of an all-source analyst.
Right.
It's cybersecurity.
Mm-hmm.
The risk is ambiguity. Like you're walking into a place that we've never done what we're doing before, and that creates ambiguity because it's never happened before. Tell me if that even makes sense.
It does. But if that's what that is, then you're saying you don't want. I don't.
Keep going. You can get there. By the way, I know you can do it. Okay. I know you can be safe inside of ambiguity because I know that you will create order inside of your understanding. And I'm promising you, like my commitment is we've written for understanding.
Okay.
It's just that you've got to read it. And if you disagree, I'm all over it.
Right.
But cognating that what we're doing is changing the world through the HBCUs, and we've got the highest level agreement from presidents at HBCUs that this should happen. And we've got the federal government that just passed a law in December of which you're reading the final rule.
Right.
Dr. Williams, Brenda, and I were part of the Smart HBCU conversation with Dr. Akaswani, who was the only employee who was in detail with the White House Initiative on HBCU during the Trump administration. She created this. It got passed in December. Now this administration has taken the time to look at it, right? Evaluate it. And now they've come up with their point of view. And Dina, I spoke to this administration to Antoine Griffin, who was one of the first 21 political appointees. He's now the chief of staff at SBA. He and I talked about this in February. The grant has not been let yet. It's still not on. This grant is not on the street yet.
Right.
But we're working towards getting the people together to actually propose to this grant, and the grant is a recompense grant. It's a grant that says if you actually do the right thing, you could create an oligopolistic entity that will generate wealth for generations. The notion is internet as a utility. How do we create internet as a utility?
Okay.
Like, how would we do that?
Question. I'd have to go find out. I don't know off the top of my head.
Well, of course, no one knows. We have to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what this administration is saying is possible. How do you create internet as a utility so that we can provide for those that don't have internet and provide better content for everyone? And we're saying that HBCUs is a good place to start with learning, right? Because that's what they do. And then we could figure out the research behind how could we establish a network of HBCUs that actually can own an entity that we can get investors to invest in, and do that in a way that we can make a new AT&T by gaining federal contracts and exploiting the opportunity of all of these universities of color in a way that we can then pick it up and do it internationally. And the International Trade Administration is working with us directly to do that right now.
Okay.
So the safe is, the task is to learn, because there's no way you can touch the buttons on the spaceship if you don't know you're in a spaceship.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So until you can see what the spaceship looks like, I can't have you toggle the buttons, right?
Right.
But I am talking to you. So I believe you can do it. I believe you can see the spaceship. And the spaceship is actually, we're developing the control mechanisms to control the procurements for the future in order to bring these tech companies together in one place, and to do it in a way where we honor our intelligence. I mean, we're people of color, but we're smart. we can think of stuff, new stuff. Let's think of new stuff to do.
Right.
And so the opportunity for you and I to communicate is you're like Greenfield. You're like just willing. Hey, I'm willing, right? I'm willing to do something, but you got to tell me what to do.
Right.
Right. And I'm saying learning is the task.
Okay.
Because you can't see what I want you to do if you don't know what we're doing.
Right. Which is why I've been taking the time to read up on this stuff. But it's like as soon as I start, I find myself maybe looking into it and reading and writing stuff down. And I'm like, wait a minute, I spent like 3 hours doing this. What about hopping? Am I supposed to be focusing on hopping? So that's where I'm like, I don't feel safe because I don't know how to distribute my effort. I know I'm not, it's like I don't know if I should be doing 80% learning.
And Brenda and I have been talking about that specifically about you. Okay. Mm-hmm. So the way I interpret it, it's like you had a bad restaurant experience and now you're getting over, you got to decide to go back to the restaurant, right? Where we're saying, Dina, this is moving fast and you're talking to the leaders that are actually changing what's moving. Mm-hmm. I believe that you have the ability to be at that level. It is the highest level of the conversation. I'm changing after every conversation because I'm talking to really important people that are telling me what their specifications are, and we've got to include everybody's specifications.
Okay.
So now I'm in a conversation to where I need to make sure I can take the first 15 minutes of this because I have a president speaking. Right. I want to capture what he has to say. It's very important to me. And then we've got a list of other people speaking because there's talking about how the future is going to be. Does that make any sense?
It does.
And because it's the African AME Church that's going to be speaking, mm-hmm. It's a large group. You know, they own a couple of HBCUs, right?
I didn't know that.
Yes, the African AME Church owns Clinton College and Allen University. Mm-hmm. We're hearing from the president of Clinton College. He was the first president to become a member of CEBOT. Okay. Can you see that every time I speak to you, you learn something new?
Yes.
Yes, because you're communicating to the absolute top of the food chain relative to what's going on at CEBOT. Right. I'm less trying to get you to keep up with me because I don't know how that would even be possible. I'm more trying to see if you can be in the pocket where you're useful to me, which I believe you are. But if I have to kind of manage, if we can't get past your emotional response to be inside of the leadership place that you are relative to the CEBOT Fellow program, I'm putting weight on you because you said you could handle it.
Right.
The weight is ambiguity in cybersecurity. Do you know that? We're the firemen. We don't know where the attack's going to come.
Right.
This attack is attack on the deal. We're creating a zero trust conversation. Are you familiar with zero trust?
Yes. Everyone has to authenticate.
Yes. You're now being adjudicated into the CEBOT process. And the only way to do that is you actually have to know what's happening.
Right.
This is what's happening. This is what's going on. And whether we use Hopin or this or whatever, that's like, as it relates to where that fits inside of what I got going on right now, my sister, it's not real high on my priority. What's high on my priority is I get a recording, right?
Right.
I'm also determined that I don't do this alone. So I'm asking you to watch what I'm doing because I've been doing it for the last 20 years. And I know I'm safe. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Not necessarily safe for you. I mean, me doing it is safe. If I do it myself, I feel safe. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Is that effective?
No, because you have to delegate.
You got to delegate. Thank you. So we both have to feel safe. I'm going to feel safe when you absolutely understand what you're doing because I'm doing it on purpose. It's the only time it's going to happen because this is making history. When I feel safe is you know exactly what you're doing, why you're doing it, and you're ready to have it happen. And you respond in the speed I need you to respond.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get there. But if it's not there, then you can't play. You know what I mean? You're still on the bench.
Right.
But at least you're on the bench is all I'm saying. It's a pretty cool place. I've not had anybody on the bench that I'd be willing to have on the bench. You have the personality I need. I need someone with your personality. That exactness that you will feel safe will make me feel safe. So when you're safe, I'm going to be safe. But I'm not safe if you're not safe. So I got to do it.
Okay.
But we're going to make this transition, which is why I'm taking the time to talk to you right now. And then I'll test to see what this recording is. I need you on the ugly side of things. Does that make sense? I need you like really where I'm at and not like the show. I need you to be behind the curtain.
Right.
Yeah. So this is what it looks like behind the curtain.
I feel like I'm the person behind the curtain that's like, okay, I'm here. What do you want me to do?
Yes, and I need you there.
Getting like a million things, and I'm like, all right, so I know what I want to do first. But is it the same thing that y'all need me to do first? That's where my
yeah, well, you'll find out because I'll tell you. That's how you'll find out. You'll know because I'll tell you. I'm not asking you to figure it out. I'm asking you to do what I'm asking you to do, which right now is learn. It was learn Hopkins, but we're not going to use it because I need something different. But what I need is what I need. And whether you know Hopkins or not is only a small determinant of what I'm doing because what I'm doing is what I'm doing. And I got to do what I'm doing at the speed that I'm doing it. Because I'm handling issues from multiple universities right now, and we're qualified.
Right.
And you're qualified to be in this room. You are so the right person. I just got to get you on the other side of a bad restaurant experience.
Okay.
Yeah, this is how it works.
I know it's possible.
Change happens. It's fast. Oh, good, you know, but I care, and that really is very good. I actually care about you. That's helpful.
Yeah, thank you, and I appreciate it. That's why I'm still trying. I'm still working on it. But I do have all of the documents that you attached.
Yep, and there's more coming. Yep, there's more coming. I'm just wanting you to kind of if you could be a human that actually understands how does this get to internet as a utility, then it's possible that a human could do that. I don't need you to just be a technician. I need you to be like someone that actually knows what's happening because there's going to be a time I'm needing you to speak, and I need you to speak from a position of authority because I can make you into any position I want you to be.
Okay.
I'm just seeing what you're qualified for. A complaint, by the way, in my ecosystem is almost intolerable.
I don't like complaining.
Yes.
I do believe in presenting an issue and also making a recommendation to fix it.
Yes.
Complaining is just, I don't like it, and that's it. You don't have
But if
any...
you say it more than one time to us and you don't recognize that all we're doing is resolving, we're waiting for your checklist. Yes, that got done. Let's get to the next thing because you're important. But I can't labor on you not being able to recognize I'm going to solve your issue and get to the next place because I'm aggressive and I'm on the field right now.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So let's get to the point where you feel safe because I need you to feel safe. Okay. The issue has already been recorded and recognized, and I'm just interested in resolving it, and I don't have any time. Let's just resolve it. Let's just say, okay, here's what I need to do. What you're doing right now is learning. That's what you're doing, right?
Right.
And then I'll check to see you're learning because I'm going to not ask you questions. You'll just be able to perform. And the performance is because there's action that's going to have to be managed by people. And we just are finding the pool of people that are going to be in the room managing those actions. And we've already determined that you're qualified. Now we just got to figure out what actions you're managing, right?
Right.
Right. And I've got some information. I have a place, but in order for me to get to describe it, you need to know all the stuff I just said.
Okay.
Okay. And then we'll get back on this. Well, I just created an event to do this. I'll create another event and send you the link. I'm going to figure out how we communicate this. So let's see if we can't get together. Can you get together tomorrow morning at any time?
Yes. I took tomorrow off because
okay, good. Then let's figure it out. Yes, yes. We will do this a couple of times tomorrow and get this right, okay?
Okay. I'm here.
I'll see you.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.